my name is Allison Nunez, and I'm going to inform you about Alzheimer's, the forgetful disease. The purpose of the speech is to inform my peers about the background information, diagnosis, symptoms, treatment, and the likelihood of getting Alzheimer's disease. How many of you have walked into a room and forgotten what you went in there to do? And how many of you have misplaced your keys or your phone? Now imagine doing this multiple times a day continuously, always forgetting where you are, what you're doing, or who you are as an individual. This is what it's like to live with Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease is the 6th most leading cause of death in the United States, according to the Alzheimer's Association. So it's likely that each of you will have a connection to someone with Alzheimer's at some point in your life. When I was 15, my grandmother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. I have watched her over the years as her disease has progressed. And at first, it was just small things that she would forget, such as what she got up to do. But over the years, she has forgotten more important things, such as her loved ones. So Alzheimer's disease is a progressive disease that interferes with the individual's memory and thinking, which makes it difficult for them to carry out daily activities. And in this presentation, I'm going to discuss the background information, diagnosis, symptoms, and treatments of Alzheimer's. Let's begin with some background information. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Alzheimer's disease is a progressive disease beginning with mild memory loss, possibly leading to the loss of the ability to carry out a conversation or respond to your environment. Alzheimer's disease is named after Dr. Alois Alzheimer. According to the National Institute of Health, in 1906, Dr. Alzheimer did an autopsy on a dead woman, and he found that there were abnormal clumps and tangles in her brain, which are two of the most distinguishable features of Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's disease is also the most common form of dementia. According to the Alzheimer's Association, every 65 seconds, someone in the United States is diagnosed with Alzheimer's. They predict that by mid-century, this number will be increased to every 33 seconds. Now let's discuss the diagnosis and symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. There are various tests and brain scans that can be used to predict if an individual has Alzheimer's. But according to the National Institute of Health, a person can only accurately be diagnosed with Alzheimer's after their death. Although there are no direct causes, researchers believe that Alzheimer's disease has a strong link to genetics. Harvard Medical School has found that if you have a close relative that has Alzheimer's, your risk increases by 30%. Regularly misplacing items, forgetting familiar tasks, decreased judgment, changes in mood or personality, as well as memory loss as a whole are all common symptoms of Alzheimer's disease, as stated by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Alzheimer's disease affects individuals' ability to remember information that is new to them. So oftentimes people remember past events but will not be able to retain their new information, as stated by the Alzheimer's Association. Now that we've talked about diagnosis and symptoms of Alzheimer's disease, I want to talk about the treatments that are available for patients living with Alzheimer's. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have reported that there is no cure for Alzheimer's. But there are ways to help improve the quality of life for individuals living with Alzheimer's as well as their caretakers. They also report that various treatments attempt to help the individual maintain mental function, behavior management, and delay the symptoms. Scientists at the National Institute of Health believe that a healthy diet, physical activity, social engagements, and mentally stimulating activities can help prevent an individual from getting Alzheimer's. The Alzheimer's Association and the National Institute of Health both conduct and advertise clinical trials for Alzheimer's patients. Their goal is to be able to find a cure through these clinical trials and different tests. In conclusion, Alzheimer's disease is an incurable disease that affects an individual's memory, which creates negative consequences in all other aspects of their lives. Individuals living with Alzheimer's live in a constant world of confusion and frustration due to their inability to remember simple things such as when to eat, where they are, or who they are. In summation, Alzheimer's disease was discovered by Dr. Alois Alzheimer and is the most common form of dementia. There is no cure for Alzheimer's disease, and there is no specific cause other than genetics, but it can be diagnosed after an individual is dead. Finally, Scientists are still studying the disease and hope to someday find a cure. So next time you forget where you placed your keys or what you got up to do, just be glad that it was just one incident and not what happens every moment of every day of your life.